Hey guys, we are finally back with another Chris Chan reading on the quickie, and we have the affair with his mom, which is always fun. Incest is always fun. Um, Pro tip. Let's start with the pro tip. The pro tip: Chris is in jail on the charge of incest, not rape. Whether or not Chris's incestuous affair with Barb was entirely consensual is not known for sure. Along with that, the root cause of it currently cannot be verified, and Barb's mental state at the time can merely be guessed at. While reports often claim that Barb has dementia, these claims are entirely unproven and are based on circumstantial evidence and begging videos where she may be playing up her frailty to elicit pay for more money. In light of all that, avoid calling Chris a rapist on this wiki unless this is proven. Popular history is already muddled enough. Fair enough. Who among everyone in the world has not had a dream of having sex with one of their parents? Never acting on them ever. I myself did have dreams of having sex with my mother. I have never actually had dreams of having sex with my mom. I don't know if that makes me weird in Chris's eyes, but I personally never had that um, feeling. Chris on Facebook in 2016, Chris would act on these instincts 5 years later. And for context, that was when Chris was talking about some sort of incestuous relationship between a mom and son that got caught in the news, and he was giving his opinion on it. You're supposed to say, "Turn me loose, you silly goose." Used to do that more flippantly. Chris, while forcefully embracing his mother on a Twitch stream, indirectly warning us what was to come. For years, trolls had joked that Chris, in his desperation to find a boyfriend for the girl, would eventually turn to his mom based on the act of the two were constantly in close proximity to one another. Chris had a few off-putting comments about fetishizing her. Few thought he would ever go through with this act, though, but Chris found a way to surprise and horrify everybody. Chris and Barb's incestuous affair most likely began on the 27th of June, but his social media presence and earlier in the month may hint at an earlier start to the affair. As early as the 22nd of June, which is my birthday, it's a shame that he started doing his mom on my birthday, allegedly. He began addressing Barbara by the unsettling pet name of Barbie Chan. That's so weird. Which may have indicated when he began to get intimate with her. After this date, Chris claimed that he had sex with her once every 3 nights until being forcibly stopped by being removed from the house. On the 20th of July in 2021, during a call with Isabella Bella Lorenta Jank, Chris revealed the details of his sexual activities with his mother of his own volition. Also discussing it in text messages later that day. In those, Chris has discussed simulating his elderly mother with his hands, performing cunnilingus on her, and having penetrative sex with her. Oh my God. Why would he admit that of his own free will? Like, he claimed that Barbara compared him favorably to her previous sexual partners, including Chris's father, Bob, who had been unable to provide her with an orgasm or simply her G-spot. That's disturbing. Files were leaked to the public the following night, and social workers removed Chris from Barbara on the morning of the 30th of July. In early August of 2021, Chris was arrested, officially charged with one count of incest, and is currently being held in jail without bail pending trial. In our interpretation of the act, we can only imagine that Chris shouted, "Barbie!" at least once while it happened. Under some writing. My love, does our soul bond and play satisfy you? Yes, it does. Thank you. Let's see. Background and foreshadowing. Chris's recent failings have helped the quickie gather more information for this article. New info. Okay, let's do this. Okay. In general, the relationship between Chris and his mother has always been seen as a little too close, likely due to his mother's overly cuddling nature towards him in his early life, all through to his adulthood, mixed with the emotionally abusive control tactics she implemented against both him and Bob. It is clearly known during the Doopy saga that Chris had used the word darling and dear, commonly reserved for romantic relationships, to refer to his mother. Yeah, but he did that with a lot of women that he didn't know, like Doopy. So I don't know. That's kind of hard to like. I don't know. It's just I don't know. Many historians have noted that potential hints or patterns that would indicate sexual activity between Chris and his mother have been made previously. As early as October 2015, the man in the pickle suit noted that at Chris's plea arrangement for the pepper spray incident, Chris and his mother were touching each other in an unusually intimate and inappropriate fashion. As recent as 2019, Chris, whilst role-playing as Magic Jam, referred to his mother as a guilty pleasure waifu. Furthermore, in August of 2016, Chris admitted to having dreams of having sex with his mother in a Facebook post, saying that I myself did have dreams of having sex with my mom. Patrol Arthur Spatchcock disclosed on the Cookie Farms that following the 2014 house fire, Chris and his mother were routinely spooning. At that time, Chris denied any impropriety, saying, "I am not a Bates." What the OMG? What the fuck does that mean? Norman Bates. Who the fuck is Norman Bates? I actually have no idea who Norman Bates is. Hold on. Oh. Okay. Okay, that's very weird and not good. Top 10 hottest anime moms ever. A video Chris watched on the 25th of July in 2021, days before he would confess to incestuous acts with his mother. Fate Zero Mom. Okay. I don't know why this guy fucking likes watching Watch Mojo of all things. Their lists are the drizzling shits. What the hell is this? Okay. I don't know what the fuck any of this is, and so I am going back to the thing. So, the affair. On the 27th of June 2021, Chris began to engage in incest with his mother. Chris claimed he approached her with care and caution, and that Barbie even made the first move. When pressed for details on the dirty deed, Chris has shown an unsurprising. It's not really unsurprising. Chris is never one for remorse. Chris has shown an unsurprising lack of remorse for his actions, saying that his actions were ordained by God, Jesus himself. If anything, he was more upset that Bella, Noel, Dylan, and other people ratted him out after he provided a confession to the felony. The gory details. Oh boy. Pro tip: texts purporting BDSM roleplay are fakes doctored by Bella. With that said, this list is not entirely reliable as details may vary, and because Chris is typically not interested in honesty in these scenarios. In case you have some kind of morbid curiosity in how the affair could have went down, here are a list of activities that Chris has allegedly done to and with his mother. Massages, presumably full body ones since it included her thighs and her face for some reason. That's really weird. This is probably the same type of massage he gave to me. Chris would also claim in a chat to the WCT that he brought the massaging oil and made the claim that it is perfect for you to use on one's lover. I also remember he said, like in an email to somebody, he was talking about his experience with me and him, that he used the same massage with her that he uses for his mom. Like that's another thing. Kissing. Apparently, it did not involve tongues. Outer course, rubbing her pussy with his fingers and hands. This happened at least twice before the next step, probably more. Intercourse, by this he means fingering her. It apparently hurt her when he did so. Ugh. Cunnilingus, eating her out, claims he's good at it. No information about if she returned the favor. Penetration, vaginal, apparently with the use of a condom. He proceeded to get himself tested for STIs afterwards anyway. Cuddling. According to a letter from jail, Chris had supposedly cuddled with Barbs in the times of incest. According to Noel, Chris had been buying large amounts of sex toys and lingerie from Adam and Eve for several months prior to committing his acts. What sex toys Chris potentially used, if any, is uncertain. A surreal depiction of the events. I honestly cannot even tell what's going on here, but it looks cool at the same time. Negligee. Chris had stated that he purchased a negligee and claimed that Barb approved the idea. This would eventually be confirmed on the 3rd of March in 2022 when a Reddit fan posted photos of themselves with Chris in the negligee. A photo of Chris wearing the negligee in front of a fan. Rationalizations. Chris has rationalized the affair in multiple ways. Divine approval. Chris claimed that the incest call that God told him that incest was okay. Soul healing and bonding. In a jail letter that Emmanuel told him to have sex. In a jail letter that Emmanuel told him to have sex with Barb in order to heal her and cleanse her of her sins. In a later letter, Chris mentions that soul bonding does not necessarily constitute sex, which implies that it can be. Chris also seems to be under the impression that if he did not engage in this healing, then Barb would have died or being more heavily injured by her recent car accident. completely ignoring the fact that if Chris had not engaged in it, chances are that Bob would not have been in a car accident at all, since she wouldn't have been forced to drive on her own due to her son's absence. Defense measure against Sockiness. Chris claimed that my having had sex is also a defense mechanism in regards to Sockiness and what he had or may have done in mind with me and being near me, referring to Sockiness' history of scheming to have sex with Chris, and that Chris had planned to use the fact of his affair as a truth bomb to deter Sockiness. Awareness of wrongdoing. Chris was aware of the illegal nature of incest. In August 2016, he read a news article on the topic of a mother and son charged with incest and commented over Facebook on it, defending the two, saying that they should not be sent to jail. 5 years later, in the midst of his own affair with his mother, Chris still demonstrated awareness that the action was illegal. While he desired to discuss the affair with people, he first concocted a cover story in which he used misleading euphemisms such as lady friend to describe his sexual partner, and claimed that the supposed lady friend and Barb had met each other. And he insisted on keeping the identity of the lady friend a secret, though he dropped hints such as age and employment history. After a month of using his cover story, Chris decided to push further and tell someone that his mother was his sexual partner. He selected Bella before telling her. Chris first spent time trying to manipulate her into keeping silent on what he would say by use of a guilt trip. And I ask you not to overthink or ask for further details and pressing on. This is not a good thing to do. Chris to Bella on the 17th of July, 2021. Over a week later, Chris was ready to divulge his secret. First claimed to Bella that he was uncertain of telling her, as he was concerned about the government hacking the conversation, which backfired on Chris as it tipped off Bella into suspecting that he was about to discuss an illegal act. I realize I am remaining in sounding distant on the questioning, and it will become more clear and obvious when I tell you in person who she is. I actually wish I could tell you over text or voice call, but the government and anyone with the tech can easily hack into these methods, into those methods. I think he means messages. Chris, prior to the incest call, within the same conversation, Chris recommended using an encrypted text video call app, Signal. Oh, Chris recommended using the encrypted text and video call app Signal, having used it to communicate with Null, which Bella agreed to download. Leaks. In the leaks, Chris admits that he and his mother engaged in substantial sexual activity, including Chris masturbating to his mother and engaging in penetrative intercourse with her. It is further alleged that his mother compared him to various other sexual partners, including Chris's father. Also made another attempt at rubbing her vagina externally at first, and slipping in between the lips and rubbing the inner labia. Then she told me to stop. She's getting more and more used to being played with down there by hand. Text message from Chris. And obviously, those out of 8 guys, counting Robert Chu, before me were not hitting her G-spot as much with their cocks. I had attempted the first night to rub her in there. I found her spot, but it hurt her. But alternatively, I did find that at cunnilingus, I was good at it with my tongue. Chris comparing sexual activities with his father's sexual activities. That's disgusting. The leaked audio likewise contained graphic descriptions of sexual activity, which Chris alludes to as the veracity of incest fanfics. The authenticity of the recording was confirmed by Chris to Dylan Thomas. Prior to the allegations being revealed to the public, Chris informed Null about the fact that he had found a boyfriend for the girl, although he wanted her identity to remain a secret. He offered multiple hints about her identity of his new sweetheart, but told Null that he wanted him to figure out who it was. Null was initially skeptical of the incest claim, since the idea guys previously coerced him into recording a then untrue statement that he had raped Barb. Really? I did not know that. That's fucked up. And believed that this could be another instance of similar manipulation. Null hypothesized that Chris was attempting to protect the identity of his new girlfriend by making up an elaborate lie, but eventually came to realize that Chris had been having frequent sex with Barb upon revealing Chris's hints. After this information eventually came to light, Chris indicated that it was drama and he only intended to share the information to test his followers, who he trusted would not share the information to the public at large despite incest being illegal. Chris would later compare Null to Judas Iscariot. I just call him Judas. I don't know why they put the last name, for betraying him by trusting him with such honest content. Chris being Chris, he seems to be more upset that the fact that trusting people not to leak evidence of a criminal act led to a serious life-changing consequences for him. Then the idea that he may have caused harm to Barb, as multiple jailers, though he does not seem to have guilt over the fact he did something illegal. Not to mention, he clearly hasn't learned from years of experience that constantly sharing personal information at the drop of a hat be it embarrassing or incriminating. And in this case, invariably comes back to bite him in the rear end later on. Consequences. It is a criminal offense in Virginia to engage in incest. Sexual activities between a parent and child are a class 5 felony punishable by up to 10 years of incarceration. Chris was swiftly removed from his home by an emergency protective order and then arrested the next day. In the wake of these charges, Chris was banned from Patreon and Tapas. What is Tapas? I have never heard of that thing. What is Tapas? Tapas is a website which can host webcomics for artists. Chris began uploading Sonichu books in September 2017. Chris might have gotten the idea to try Tapas from Mary Weathery, who has his own webcomic series on Tapas and has agreed to help Chris manage Chris's Sonichu business as a condition of Chris participating in his Internet Dream Lounge interview. Chris's account was disabled in the wake of the 2021 incest scandal. Profile. I am Christine W. Chandler, creator of Sonichu, Rosechu, in the city of Quickville, Virginia, and as I draw my comic book series, I am a proud lesbian trans woman. His list contains Sonichu and various LGBT comics. Sonichu. Read along in the many adventures of Sonichu and Rosechu, the electric hedgehog Pokemon, their friends and family in and around the city of Quickville, VA, along with a number of soul explorative adventures of the author, creator, Miss Christine Weston Chandler, formerly known as Christian Weston Chandler. Posts. Want paper copies of my Sonichu comics? Currently, until further developments, the books are available only through me. And you can have a book or more per month, as well as updates of sneak peeks and whatnot of my next book too, only available on my Patreon. Check me out today. Now, after completion of the current comic books in progress, as noted on my Patreon, the book will be added on my Tapas page here the following month. I have never actually heard of this website before, so that's kind of interesting. Collaborators who had once worked with him withdrew, such as the band who released Love is Love, pulling it from sale. Since then, he has been held without bail in Central Virginia Regional Jail before getting transferred into an unknown facility awaiting trial. On May 3rd, 2022, Chris was transferred back to CBRJ. If Barb consented, she could be charged as a willing participant. If Barb did not consent, as some have speculated, she may be incapable of that. Chris's potential sentence could be significantly longer given the severity of a rape charge. And that is that. So not only did we learn about Chris and his incestuous relationship, but we also learned about the place where he puts his comics, or he did. I know those two things don't really seem connected, but you learn something new every day. Am I right? So if you like this, be sure to like, comment, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all next time.